Welcome to This Explainer. Today we're taking a deep dive into navigating the Idaho DMV so you can confidently replace a lost or stolen car title.
So, lost your car title in Idaho?
Well, don't panic. In the next few minutes, we'll guide you through a seamless, stress-free process to get a new one and have you back on the road in no time. We're going to break down the exact regulations and steps you need to take to solve this whole issue with literally zero headaches. Here's our quick roadmap for today. First, the importance of car titles. Then, initial steps after loss. 3, applying for a duplicate. 4, real-world scenarios. 5, common mistakes to avoid. And finally, finalizing the title process. Let's dive in. Section 1, importance of car titles, the ultimate legal proof. According to Title 49, Chapter 5 of the Idaho Code, an Idaho vehicle title isn't just some basic receipt. It's actually the ultimate legal proof of vehicle ownership. Even though the Idaho Transportation Department, or ITD, has totally modernized by using electronic databases, that physical piece of paper remains an absolutely indispensable legal instrument. If it's lost, stolen, mutilated, or just entirely illegible, well, your legal capacity over that vehicle is severely restricted. Think about it. Without that physical title actually in your hands, you literally cannot sell the vehicle legally, you can't transfer ownership to a family member, you're completely blocked from registering the car if you end up moving to another state, and trading the vehicle to a dealership? No way. Essentially, your car is just frozen in administrative limbo. Section 2, initial steps after loss, triage and prep. All right, here is your immediate triage checklist before you do anything else. First up, check for active liens. If a bank or lender financed your car and that loan is still active, they actually hold the title, not you. Now, if you recently paid it off, you'll just need to make sure the lien was officially released. Second, go ahead and gather your legal ID, like your Idaho driver's license or social security number. Finally, you gotta locate your VIN, that's your vehicle identification number, and your original title number. The good news here, both of these numbers can be found right on your current vehicle registration document. Section 3, applying for a duplicate, forms and fees. Interestingly enough, Idaho doesn't just have one simple catch-all form. You actually have to pick the right administrative pathway. So if you just want an exact replacement with absolutely zero changes, you're going to use Form ITD 3367. Now, if your vehicle is over 10 years old or over 16,000 pounds, and you want to replace the title and transfer it to a buyer at the exact same time, you use Form ITD 3369. But if you need to replace the title while simultaneously adding or removing an owner or a lien holder, well, you must use the Affidavit of Lost Title, which is Form ITD 3371. For the vast majority of you watching, this is the form you'll become very familiar with. Form ITD 3367 is the standard duplicate Idaho title application. It requires your full legal name, physical address, and identifier. This is absolutely crucial to prevent any unauthorized transfers of your property. Now, let's talk about the cost. If you've been scrolling through automotive forums, you might have heard that replacing a title in Idaho costs $28 or even $35. But the actual base state fee set by the Idaho Transportation Department for a standard duplicate title, it's only $14. The higher numbers you see online often come from people combining transactions. Like paying $14 for the duplicate and then another $14 for a transfer, which totals $28. Oh, and if you forgot to track down your title and VIN numbers like we talked about earlier, the state will tack on a mandatory $7 record search fee. However, there's a little catch. Idaho operates on a decentralized system, which means local county assessors actually process these titles. And under Idaho Code, counties are allowed to levy local administrative surcharges. So your final cost, it depends entirely on your zip code. To put that into perspective, in Bannock County, there's zero surcharge. It's just that base $14. But in Ada County, they add $7. In Bonner County, it's a $10 surcharge. And Blank County actually imposes the highest surcharge in the entire state at $18.75, which brings a standard replacement there to a grand total of $32.75. Section 4, real-world scenarios, co-owners, estates, and missing sellers. As we all know, life is rarely perfectly straightforward, right? A really critical point is how names are connected on your vehicle record. If you co-own a car, take a close look at the conjunction used. If your names are separated by the word or, either one of you has the legal authority to sign and execute that duplicate application completely independently. But if your names are separated by and, well, both owners must sign the application, and those signatures absolutely must be notarized or physically witnessed by a DMV deputy. So what if the vehicle owner passes away and their title is lost? Well, Idaho law doesn't actually allow transfer on death designations for vehicles. However, if the decedent's total estate is valued under $100,000, qualifying heirs can bypass formal probate using Form ITD 3414, the Affidavit of Inheritance. It's super helpful. The heir just certifies directly on this form that the original title is lost, which neatly combines the duplication and transfer into one streamlined, non-probate step.
Here's another tricky scenario for you. Let's say you buy a car, the seller doesn't give you the title, and then they just vanish. You can't just apply for a standard duplicate because, well, you aren't the titled owner yet. In this case, Idaho provides two pretty rigorous remedial pathways. For cars 10 years or older, you can apply for a conditional title. This involves certified mail notifications and VIN inspections. But if the car is newer than 10 years, you have to secure a bonded title. This one requires paying for an independent appraisal and purchasing a 3-year surety bond equal to 1.5 times the appraised value of the vehicle, just to protect against any potential ownership claims.
Section 5. Common mistakes to avoid, red flags and pitfalls. Okay, these are the quickest ways to get your application tossed out. If you mail your application to the Ada County Processing Center, your signature absolutely must be notarized by a licensed notary public. Now, if you go in person, the DMV employee acts as the witness, so you can skip the notary. Also, never, ever send cash in the mail. Stick to checks, money orders, or credit card info. Please don't try to fax your application. It will be immediately rejected. The state strictly prohibits photocopies of identity documents, so you have to present the originals. And remember, if you leave off your title or VIN number, you are definitely paying that $7 record search fee. And here is a highly specific pitfall you want to watch out for. If you can't get to the DMV yourself and you decide to appoint someone using a limited power of attorney, which is Form ITD 3368, there's a special rule. While standard registration tasks don't typically require this form to be notarized, if you're using it to support a duplicate title application, the grantor's signature absolutely must be notarized or officially witnessed by an authorized ITD agent.
Section 6. Finalizing the process. The finish line.
All right, you've made it. Once you submit your flawless application, whether in person or by mail, standard state processing takes up to 3 weeks. If you're in a rush, you can totally pay an optional $26 rush fee to speed things up. Now, here's a critical reminder. If you still have an outstanding loan on this vehicle, the state is going to automatically mail that new physical duplicate title directly to your lien holder, not to your home address.
If 3 weeks roll by and your title hasn't arrived, don't panic. Check with your bank first to ensure they didn't receipt it by mistake. Also, make double sure you didn't shortchange your local county's specific administrative surcharge. If you're still stuck, you can always call the ITD Customer Contact Center directly at area code 208-584-4343 to check on your title's status. Interestingly enough, if a title is returned to the state as undeliverable, or if you just never received it, you can actually file a specific claim within 90 days to have those duplicate fees waived entirely. As we wrap up this explainer, please note, while these steps are accurate as of now, laws and regulations are subject to change. Always consult with Idaho's Department of Motor Vehicles or a legal professional for the most current guidance. Ultimately, your vehicle title is the ultimate key to your automotive freedom. So I leave you with this final thought. Do you know exactly where your physical car title is right now? Or could your vehicle's paperwork be holding a hidden surprise you aren't prepared for? Thanks for learning with us today.